So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned into Mic Drop. As you can see, this is a little bit different setting because I'm doing it through Zoom with my lovely friend Sana Khan.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, so she is going to
Thank you
be
for having me.
welcome. Thank you for being on my vlog on my birthday, no less.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
So, I know the viewers can't, well, hopefully the people who view this will be saying happy birthday to my ass, but they can't say it right now. So, actually, my birthday gift that I wanted from Sana was to do a vlog slash podcast together. I didn't want anything else. I just wanted this. And she is delivering on the birthday gifts. I'm very happy. So,
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
yes. So, today we're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff. It's a little bit random, but it's going to be still kind of structured in some form or fashion because we usually like to have it somewhat structured. But it's going to be
I
fun.
think
Light,
the
I would
the theme's like what, your lockdown birthday, right?
my lockdown birthday, because I've never actually, believe it or not, I've never done a vlog on my birthday. I always do a birthday selfie because I want to see how I've aged. Which, honestly, since 30 to now, I look basically the same, minus the little bit of few gray hairs I have and my beard changing.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
I
Good
know,
job,
right?
you.
I don't age. I don't know if it's the alcohol I drink or it's just no, but
It's
regardless,
genetics, Mike.
I think it's genetics. I think black don't crack. So there you go. So yeah, so
You got
today
that genetics.
yeah, hashtag genetics. So today we're gonna be talking about, like I said, the lockdown birthday. We're also gonna be talking about kind of how me and Sana came up, our origin story on how we decided to do this damn vlog. Because I know people are kind of wondering what the hell did you guys decide to do this vlog for or podcast for, and we'll kind of give our answers and such and all that stuff as well. But I want to introduce my friend Sana again to my channel because she is one of my dearest, bestest friends in the whole wide world. I love her.
Aw,
She is my homie.
samesies.
She's the
Yeah.
homie. So I wouldn't, out of everyone I'm cool with, and I have a fair amount of cool people, there's no one I'd want to spend this next little bit of time with her because she is dope as fuck and she is one of my dearest friends. So I guess you can
Aw,
introduce
thank you.
yourself to, because I know you did, we did the Civil War vlog in the summer, and I didn't really
Yes, we did.
I did a poor job of introducing you, so my apologies. So now here's
That's
your
okay.
opportunity to introduce you to the masses of my 74 followers. So I don't have that
All
many.
right. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I'm honestly okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Sana. I have my website. It's called Artisana. It's actually AARTYSANA.com. I needed the extra A because Artisana is already a restaurant somewhere else in the world, and I didn't want people getting confused.
People would have got
I
confused.
think it means artisanal in Spanish. I was just trying to do like a wordplay. Like I went through so many things. But anyway, so it's AARTYSANA.com. So basically my blog is all about work-life balance. It's about living a multifaceted life. I describe myself as a polymath. So that's a person that has more than one areas of expertise or interest. So by trade, I'm a career coach. I'm also a nutritionist. I was so close to becoming a dietitian, but choose not to for various reasons. I do have some regrets, but anyway, but I still like use that knowledge every day. I'm very artistic, but anyway, all of those things are in my blog, and I do podcasts as well, which is also on my blog. And my dear friend Michael and he's actually my first guest, and my pretty much he's become a co-host because we've done so many and it's been so fun,
I was the
Mike,
de
doing
facto co I
you.
didn't realize I was a co-host until Sana said, "Michael, you realize you're a co-host, right?" I'm like, "Oh, really? I didn't know." So now I tell people I am a co-host of the vlog. Now I'm so and technically you're right, because I have been on it a fair amount, and me and you always collab, and I always will hit you up like, "Yo, son, let's talk about this." So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a de facto co-host of your vlog.
Yeah, yeah, it's called Sana Talks to People and Sometimes Herself, and I was talking in the last podcast that I haven't really yet talked about myself, but I the topics vary, and I think if I had to describe it in one word, it would be culture, because we talk about everything, but generally speaking, it's culture, and
Actually, you know
they're just
what?
so fun.
A friend of mine had watches our vlogs, and she had asked if we have used the acronym STTHASO as your acronym for the vlog. So Sana talk to people and sometimes herself, but we didn't think to. I just said I don't think she used that as an acronym, but I'll run it by her and see if she's willing to use.
Wait, so STTPASH?
No, SASTTHASO. I don't know if that works, or you can use all the words in an acronym. I think it sounds like ish
Lots of
ASO.
love.
I don't know. Doesn't really roll. I don't know if it rolls off the tongue necessarily. I thought it was hilarious, so I wanted to run it by you because when you sent me that, I literally laughed out loud. I could not stop laughing. So I wanted to pitch that to you if that's something you want.
I see it now. I'm a bit slow, but I do get
It's
things.
okay. It's okay. I didn't listen. I had to read the message a few times too. Didn't fully understand it. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I don't think she uses like an acronym though.
No, no, it would be like PASH if I was to really ac put it in an acronym.
That is fair.
Yeah, it's funny, Mike. You're the first guest that I had, and what I like about you is you're very genuine. You're authentic. You're yourself. And one of the things that again I tried to say, hey, you swear so much. It makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had to say, "Hey, can you tone it down a little bit? Like, let's
Let's
just
do
tone
a,
it down."
as a matter of fact, let's do a vlog on let's do a podcast on it to talk about it. Even
Yeah,
better.
we did. So we ended
It
up
was
doing
great.
one on
It was a
yeah.
great. I love that one. I love the new, and I do remember the new, the things we're gonna use like Flavor Town and such. So I will throw those in there, and I'll explain to the new
Yeah.
people what that means because they've been, what is that? What does Flavor Town mean? I'll explain, relax. Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a really fun journey, and I'm really happy to be here, Mike, to celebrate your birthday in 2021 lockdown
2021,
edition.
I believe I know. Like we were supposed to actually hang out. Technically, we were
Yeah,
supposed to do in person vlog, but unfortunately, uh, COVID has dampened those plans, and we're in a lockdown, I guess, now again. So
yeah, yeah.
rather than me get fined, because I don't know if they're going to fine people, and I'm not trying to take that chance because I ain't got money like that because I'm a poor ass student. I figured let's just do it remotely. Good thing about
And be
technology.
safe.
Imagine if we tried to do we couldn't do this in 1990 because there was no such thing as podcasts. But I mean, this would not even exist. We would be screwed. We'd have to like talk on the phone.
No, we'd have to talk on the phone and then
Oh,
be on the radio somehow. We'd have
exactly.
to have our
I
yeah,
know.
a radio
Yeah,
station.
so yeah, I was telling you. So I was before we got online. I was telling Sana like I don't even feel like I'm 37 years old. I don't. I don't feel
Wait,
37.
wait, you got cut off. How old are you?
I am 37 years old.
Ah, congratulations, my friend.
Oh, right.
37.
I have survived 37 years on the planet of Earth somehow. I don't know how. And I don't feel like I think because, and I was telling my sister about this. I think because I'm in school full time and I work part time. I feel like I'm 17 years old. You know, like a kid.
I
I
still
swear.
feel that way. Young at heart?
I'm young at I mean, I've always been young at heart, but I feel a lot younger at heart now, more so than I have
Yeah.
in years. Because other years, I'm like your regular schlub just out there working like a psycho, 5 days a week
So
and
what's the difference? Like why at this point in time you're saying that, you feel young at heart?
I think more so because because I'm in school. I think, I'm around younger students and such, and they're talking about TikTok and I don't watch any of that crap. And I think, you know, and I just think, I think because also, like I said, I'm in school and I'm learning and it's like almost like a new beginning and stuff like that. I don't feel like, I guess, when people, because I don't know, I guess I don't know what a 37-year-old is supposed to act like, technically. I don't know. I don't understand that idea of, well, you got to act your age. Well, what is there like a template of how you're supposed to act at like 35 or 36 or 37? I didn't know that. Is there, I mean, if there is one, someone should show me.
I think it's about, yeah, maybe common sense sometimes, or generally, like I did a podcast on manners and consideration,
Yes.
and with my friend Andrew, and I think maybe that relates to it when people say it that way, but then not everyone has the same opportunities and upbringing and education. So ultimately, you can't blame people. You can't say you have to act your age because we don't know what their story is, right? We don't
Yeah,
know where they're coming from. No one
exactly.
may have taught them the things that we expect them to know, and we scold them when you shouldn't be scolding people. Anyway.
No, I agree. Because I mean, even like me going back to school, people are like, "Oh my god, you're so courageous for going back to school." Like, I'm not curing cancer. I'm going back to school. I'm not doing anything. miraculous, or but I think it's because of my age. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like I didn't have the opportunity, to your point that you mentioned, I didn't have the opportunities at the time to actually go back to school and university and stuff. I had life happen to me in a rough way, which caused my life to kind of
Yeah.
stop for a bit. And then I had to kind of reset and figure things out and then be in a space to go to college. And then I finished college and I worked
Yeah.
and grinded. And then I was like, okay, I want to kind of do a pivot and change my life. And now I want to go back and do university. So now I'm doing that now. So I don't believe in limitation. And again, and I don't believe in limitations. I don't believe in
Yeah.
being told that I can't.
It's a
It bothers my soul.
it's a limiting belief, right?
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I know that sounds harsh, but I mean, I
And
just
it's
think that's a
it's
silly, stupid way of thinking.
Yeah, no, no, you're not calling, people stupid, you're
No,
just saying that that belief is stupid.
absolutely.
So,
It's
just to
absolutely
clarify that, when you say it sounds harsh, I mean, of course, it's not nobody's fault when they say that, it's we're a product of our culture, right? So, it's the belief that you're thinking, "Oh, wow, you're doing something grand," but as you mentioned, everyone has their own career journeys. Not
true.
everybody ha has a linear path. Not everyone knows what they wanna be in grade 12 and then ends up being that.
Or if
People
they do, they
change,
don't.
you
They
know?
change, right? Like life changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they want to be an accountant because their parents are telling them to be an accountant, and then they're in accounting, and they're like, I don't think accounting's for me.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to be a dietitian. I was like, "Yes, dietitian." And then 4th year, I'm like, "Maybe not."
Well,
And
my goal was to
then,
be an actor,
you
and
know,
that didn't happen. So just didn't get the well, I
hey,
did have opportunities in Guyana, none in Toronto. So
you revealed that you were in a soap opera. Is
I
that
did.
correct?
I did reveal this. There is
So,
no
Michael,
evidence of this
you're
on the
there's
internet.
no evidence?
There better not be, because if there is, I'm gonna be very embarrassed because I haven't seen that in like 15 years is the last time I actually seen, because those came out in like 2005, 2006 ish. Those were,
Yeah.
so if anyone has that footage and well, if I ever got really famous, someone would post it, I'm sure. But as of now, I'm not famous, so it's fine.
So, do you plan to act later? Is this, the
Hey,
are you
yeah,
gonna
no.
dabble your
Well,
hands in the entertainment industry?
listen, someone, well, actually, another thing I do, and I don't think I've mentioned this on my vlogs or on my podcast with you, but I actually record audiobooks. So, I
Right.
mean, if someone was to listen to my lovely melodious voice and say, want him to do like some voice acting, I would certainly be down. I mean,
Hey, I would love to do that too.
I know it
That'd be
just
so cool.
honestly, I haven't done it often because of just finding the time and the space to actually do it. Because with school and work, I don't have the time to actually devote to that. And that's one of the things I want to credit you with, because the fact that you have such a busy schedule and you have other things going on, but you still devote so much time and energy to this. And I shouted you out, I think, on one of the podcasts we did, in terms of being proud of you in terms of your website, but I want to say it on my channel so the
Oh,
world
thank
knows how
you.
proud I am of you. Because again, the origins, you didn't tell people how you even came up with the idea to do a podcast. You should tell people how that came about, and pitching it to
Um
too, because we met. Me and Sana are former colleagues. That's how we met. So
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things I really like about you, Mike, is you're a doer. I'm the kind of person that's a thinker. I mean, I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses. I'm not really just berating myself. I'm just saying that one of my weaknesses is that I think, I have great ideas and plans, but to put it into action, it just doesn't happen. And I
absolutely,
remember back in the day, like talking to Mike when we used to be colleagues and saying, you know what, like we were talking about dating and our experiences on apps and such. And Michael's like, yeah, you know what? I do some vlogs. And then
yes,
we had this really good conversation. And then the next day Mike comes and be like, yo, I did a vlog. And I was like, what the heck? What? And he's like, yeah, it's up there. And
yeah. It
he's
was POF. It was the one I did on POF. That was the one I
Yeah,
told.
it was the conversation we talked about, and basically, it was like I was like, "Yeah, Mike, you should do a vlog," and he's like and I thought, one day I'd wanna do a podcast or something," and, like, Mike just did it, and fast forward, he just, like, kept doing his stuff, and I never did anything, and my mind kept thinking, one day," so I finally got the I use you, as an inspiration, Mike, because you're the person that just does, and I knew I wanted to. I really like working with you,
Yeah,
and I missed you. I can't be colleagues with you now. I mean, you're
I
doing
know.
your thing, you're in school.
It's
I know,
terrible.
and then I thought I wanna do something creative with you. So, when I did my podcast, I knew I would obviously have guests because I'm not that confident to talk to people for an hour the first day, like, "Hey, everybody, it's me." I was just like, I need to have people over, and Mike being the first guest, and it was really fun. But I that's how pretty much I started in
Yeah,
podcast.
and, you pitched it to me, and I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do this." I was like, I didn't. It was no. I didn't even think about it. It was just like, yeah, let's just do it. There was because
That's
people
what I like.
Yeah, because people
Yeah.
ask, like, "How did you guys do it?" And I'm just like, "I just did it. I didn't really think about the ramifications and all this other stuff." But I love that about you because you also, like I said, you think of things in the pros and the cons and all that, and you do it when you're. And but when you do decide to do it, you're all in, and that's the one thing I do love. It's not like you don't waffle when you do stuff. I find like even when
Yeah.
you, for example, when you did like I mean, listen, you could say the me that I'm a doer, but you were the one that went and did the what was it? The Second City stuff. You pursue that
Second
further.
City alumni.
You pursue that way further than I did. So I have to give you tons of credit for that because I did it for like three. I went to well, no 4
Yeah.
classes, like the drop in classes. You did the full thing.
The program, yeah, I graduated from Second City,
I
and
should
it
have,
was
and I regret,
really
and that's my one. I do have a regret that I didn't do that. I should have when I was working with you. I should have said, "Let me go all in." I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I didn't.
like, it would've been so fun to have you in those classes.
Oh my
So and you know what? It's never too late.
no!
You sh do it, and maybe I'll drop in, or maybe I'll even take a class with you. I would
All right.
improv
Well,
is
we
just
have
it's
video
amazing.
evidence of this, people. So if she flops or flakes, I'm gonna record this.
It's evidence
All
now.
there. I'm kidding. So
Second City was amazing,
I
yeah.
know I know I love Second City. I think, and I recommend it to anybody, especially people who kind of struggle with their confidence or struggle kind of public speaking or stuff like that, or kind of they want to be able to mingle with people in a social setting. I would say just if you're even going just for that, I would say Second City is great. I think people get a weird connotation about because they think, oh, you have to just make jokes and be funny. It's not that at all. It's a little bit deeper than that. And I think people kind of forget that because when I tell people I go to Second City, oh, you got to like tell jokes and go on stage. Nah, we're not really doing that. We're doing and other things like that. You can go on stage if you want, but it's not
Yeah,
like required. I think people
yeah,
get all
yeah,
freaked out.
it's I mean, yeah, it attracts people from many areas, and I actually did a podcast on Second City with my friend Andrew, who was in the program with
Oh,
me. We
nice.
took, like, maybe half of it, and then we couldn't, I think he took a break, and I continued and finished. He ended up finishing too. But anyway, like, one of the things that we talked about was it attracts so many different people, and
Yes.
you as you mentioned, Mike, like, some people are there to, for their confidence, for to push themselves, the very thing that they have a fear with. Like, you face your fears, but you do it in such a supportive place where everybody is just making a fool out of themselves and
Like
okay
no one's
with.
gonna go there and say you're not funny. Like you do a joke or you do
Yeah.
something silly and be like, oh my god, that was like whack as hell and
Peop
terrible. Like
People are so supportive.
it's
Yeah.
such an amazing supportive atmosphere. We're doing like free publicity for Second City right now. But
I mean, I'm a
I have
huge
it.
fan.
No,
I'm
I
a
love
fan
it.
of comedy, like,
Yeah.
as an art form, right? And I mean, I grew up, again, highly invested in comedy. I still to this day am. My brother does his own comedy podcast. He started too.
Ooh, which
My
brother?
older brother.
The one in
My older brother, the one we did the Batman and Joker podcast with.
he does one?
Yes,
When did he start
yes.
doing that? See, I'm learning stuff today. This is breaking news, people. I didn't even know this.
um yeah, his name is Asan, so Ahsan, and he does his own comedy
Hey, guys,
podcast. I will probably share a link later on, but
like I could
like
post.
we
I'll post his stuff. I don't mind promoting other people's stuff, and he's a great guy, so I don't mind promoting his stuff on my channel too. So definitely, I didn't know he.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, I'm
He actually started yeah, very recently,
okay.
and but like comedy fans here huge, and like as an art form it's just really it's nice to be on stage to practice. So, my brother and I were in the drama club in high school, and we like wrote, directed, and performed our plays. And so I guess, we were both always into performance
You could have been on
comedy.
SNL. You could have.
If I pursued it as a career choice, which I didn't.
That's probably like hard as hell to get into. I would probably.
I know, I know.
I'm assuming the
I
audience.
mean, these are like dedicated actors, right? Which you will also find in Second City, right? So a lot of my peers were actors, right? So it's like
Actually,
that
one
those are
guy
just
I
it's a
met.
mix of people.
Yeah, one guy I met
Yeah.
at Second City. He actually was a stand-up comedian. So he was kind
Yep.
of when they're trying out his stuff. And then oddly enough, like maybe about 6 months later, I saw him. He was on CBC at Just for Laughs.
Oh, awesome.
He's a funny dude, bald head white guy. Really, I don't remember his name. Really cool dude, very funny. He was like giving us like tips in terms of comedy and jokes and stuff like that. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna bomb a lot. Don't worry. Don't be all, you're gonna suck in the beginning. After a while, you're gonna get really good and stuff." I'm like, dude, I don't want to do comedy, but I appreciate the advice because
Yeah.
I'm funny. Some it might again, humor is all subjective to it. Depends, right?
It is subjective, yeah. It
So
is
what's funny
subjective.
to me may not be funny to Sana, and vice versa, right? So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is.
I
So
mean, there's always humor out there for everybody, right? So if you do decide to, our podcast actually, although not meant to be funny, many people tell me it's hilarious.
because
Um,
because again, if you have not checked out the pod, I will put it on the link here. But the podcast is basically in a nutshell me being myself, like I am on the vlogs, but also Sana's being like the great person that she is, being able to see the good or the middle ground and stuff. Where sometimes I'm a little bit of a psychopath and I just say a little crazy stuff. Sometimes
you speak your mind.
I speak my mind, and sometimes I'm not filtered. Like right now, like I'm drinking right now, I'm having some alcohol, but usually I'm sober. And usually I still, but I think it's still, like I said, I think having the differing of views and opinions and stuff is also good too, because a lot of people, like I tell people I do podcasts, a lot of them, they think about doing podcasts, but they're too scared. So I guess my question to you is, what advice would you have to people? Because there's a lot of people that want to do podcasts.
Mhm.
What advice would you give these people? Because you've been doing it for almost a year now, so you kind of fairly seasoned, I would say, compared to the first
Okay,
one
thanks.
where we didn't know what the hell we were doing in terms of editing and uploading, and now you're
Yeah.
a seasoned vet. So what advice would you give to the listeners out there in terms of doing a podcast who want to pursue a podcast?
I would say, make a plan and execute it. Don't get too boggled in the research. It's very easy to think too much.
Mm.
If you have it's about like doing it. And sometimes you may not even know what your niche is. I think most people now, I don't have a very successful podcast, but my point wasn't to make
I
money,
disagree.
right?
Our
Oh,
it
oh,
is.
thank
I
you.
think it's successful. We don't
It
have.
is,
I
you
mean,
know what?
it's not. We don't have
No,
a million viewers and all that. I guess we don't have a bunch of subscribers yet.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I just think, maybe the world's not ready for the real stuff that we talk about, because we talk about some different stuff. Our views on relationships, which we both are very, that's not the norm. I don't think people are ready to hear that on.
Ah,
I think that's what I've been thinking. I don't think people are ready for that raw honesty yet. I don't, the masses
well,
aren't.
thank you, Mike.
I've
I mean,
listened to them a few times. I just don't think they're ready for that.
I think now when I said successful, thanks for stopping me there. I do feel proud of it. I think I'm a success. I do. I use that term in defining that it's not viral or it's
Yeah,
not like has a million subscribers or anything.
not
So
trending or whatever, right? No, I got
yeah, but I'm so glad you brought that up, Mike, because I do it for me. This is my passion project. And the advice that I would have that if you want to do it, go for it. Pursue your passion. If you're unsure of what it's going to be about, that's okay because as I mentioned, my brand is about everything. And I know that's not very lucrative and I don't care because I'm just doing what I want, right? So and I'm entering the podcast realm talking about everything. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll go in a direction that's more narrow. Maybe I'll do something else, but I'm figuring it out as I do it. So the advice that I would give people is progress is better than perfection. That's not my quote. I heard it somewhere,
It's
but
a
I think it's
Denzel Washington
fantastic.
quote. Well, I heard it
Ah.
from the Equalizer, the first movie.
Oh, okay. I
Basi
didn't know. I learned
No,
that.
basically, in the scene, I'll just kinda we're sidetracking, but in the scene, he was helping, he worked at like a Home Depot type of place, and he was helping one of his coworkers lose weight so he can take a security test, like a security guard training test. So,
Right.
the guy was kinda beating himself up because I think he wasn't able to kinda get through some of the workouts that Denzel had him doing. So Denzel
Mhm.
said to him, progress, not perfection. And that always stuck with me. I've always loved that quote. I might put it on a
I
t.
loved it too. I know. I saw it somewhere. I don't know. I think it was like entrepreneurs, something entrepreneurial related
Yeah.
and I thought, for someone like me that I used to be a perfectionist. I still am struggling with that, but I really tried and trained myself to not be a perfectionist. In fact, this year, in my calendar, I looked at I did some tests, and I looked at just analyzing my personality, seeing where I can be better. Even this sounds like a perfectionist. How could I be 100% good, right? Even this idea, it's like kind of meta, but I'm doing my best to helping my flaws. I know I'm going to make mistakes.
No,
Um,
I think
yeah,
people trying to be perfectionists. I know a lot of people that try to be that way.
yeah,
So it's not a. I don't think it's an indictment on anybody. I think just you want to make sure you're putting out your best work. You know, even
yeah,
for myself with my podcast. If I sometimes I've recorded like 2 or 3 podcasts because I don't like what I put out. I thought it was crap. So I've posted stuff and then I watch and I'm like, it's trash. I delete it. I did that with
mm.
I think my one where I showed off my tattoos. I did that podcast like 3 times.
The vlog, right? Or is
The
it a
vlog, sorry.
podcast?
The vlog,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I did 3
yeah.
times because I literally didn't. I either missed stuff or I didn't like what I said and I sound like an idiot, so I took it off.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the more you do it, and this is all many creatives struggle with this, right? You judge so much because you want to be at a certain level, but what we don't understand is we'll never get there unless we put out stuff. Our stuff needs to be shit in the beginning. It needs to be bad. Like, go ahead, just put it out there. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it, and then you're gonna see your progress, your evolution, your growth. Because if you've been the same, then that's not really very fruitful. And I mean, as a person,
You have
we
not
want to
evolved.
develop and grow. Exactly. We want to innovate and be, learn new things and be better people. So the idea that it's going to be 100% from the beginning is flawed. The idea that you're going to stay the same if you're good is flawed. So once we let go of that perfectionist attitude, it's easy
Yeah.
to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to put myself out there and go for it.
And I think
So,
that's the thing too. Like I think even with my vlogs, I've done them for about wow, 5 years, going on 5 years. No.
and that's what I like about you, actually, to put myself out there and go for it. Like,
Oh,
that's one
actually
thing I take from you. Yeah.
I started in March 2015, so it'll be 6 years in March. I've been doing vlogs
Wow.
long, which is
Congrats. That's amazing.
I know it's crazy I've been doing vlogs that long, but at the same time, you see, I think if you watch them from the beginning to the end, you see the growth. Because a lot of people they'll
Yeah.
see some of my vlogs and they'll assume, oh, you mean that like, for example, I did a vlog on Black Lives Matter like in 2015, and it was coming from a place of ignorance. So one of my
Mhm.
friends had watched it and she was like, really, Mike? That's how you feel about Black Lives Matter? I'm like, which one did you watch? And I'm like, oh, I watched the one that you in 2015. I'm like, yeah, you should watch the one I did a few weeks ago because that one's more updated and I kind of have more stuff to say and I'm more knowledgeable of the movement and stuff like that. So, but again, I don't regret saying doing those things because I think it shows the growth, right? And I think it shows my progression and stuff like that. Because the one thing I will say too is I believe in life that you should always try to be a year a little bit wiser every year and grow a
Yeah.
little, evolve every year. As
Hey,
is
once the growing stops, you're dead.
exactly, I'm 37 years old. I would like to hope that this year I am a little bit better than I was last year,
Yeah.
and I would like to think that I'll be better than I was at 35.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, to your point, like what am I doing? I'm basically wasting my time doing, So, and I think that's the biggest thing. So, trying to think what else I was going to ask. Oh yeah, so we were talking about also like what we're going to look how we're handling the lockdown because obviously we're in another lockdown.
Because this is lockdown birthday edition.
Birthday drinking.
Bum, 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 drum rolls.
Yeah, actually, and again, I've evolved. I drink old fashioned now. Usually, I would drink Crown Royal out of
Oh,
the bottle. You know,
very classy.
but
Very, very
now
classy.
listen, I'm a classy dude. I'm out here drinking, making old fashions, okay, with bitters and orange zest and all that jazz.
Old
So,
fashions, amazing. Amazing. Good choice. Good choice.
right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
people think I'm all snooty now. That's fine. I can be snooty, but you
What's
know,
wrong with being snooty?
absolutely nothing. I think you have to have some standards out here. What the hell are we talking about here? Settle for crap. Not doing that.
So my question, Mike, for you is since it's locked down, right? How and it's your birthday and you're, 37 years old, and it's been a challenging year. So my question is, how is this birthday different than last year's birthday?
Okay, last year's what did I do? So last year I took the day off because I think it was a Friday or a Thursday, I believe. That it was last year, my birthday. I went to get my haircut. I went to go buy some shoes, and I went to get some wings. And I ordered some, and
Sounds
I sat down at St. Louis restaurant in the atrium. Sat down actually in the restaurant, which sounds like a a old man's tale when you gather children around a campfire and say, "Back in my days, I used to be able to eat restaurant food inside the restaurants, and it was so delicious and tasty." But
Oh,
yeah, so I
yeah, it
actually did that
sounds
last year.
a long time ago.
So, and I did not think at that time that that 2020 would be the way it turned out. I had no thought in my mind that we would be in lockdown. I thought the lockdown would last 2 weeks when we initially had the first lockdown.
A lot of people thought it would be like a few
I thought,
months, if
oh,
anything.
we'll just take 2 weeks off of work.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, ah, it's fine. I want to be in this damn office anyway. And then obviously that didn't happen. Um, last year was very up and down for me. Um,
Mm.
I had my stretches where, things were kind of good. I got into school, which I was happy about. I went to the Black Lives Matter protests and spoke there, which was amazing and a great
Yeah,
experience.
you did some, like, activism work,
Activist
right? Which
stuff,
I
which I
I
was
think this
not,
is the first
I would
time
not
you've
consider
acted.
myself to be an activist. I don't consider myself to be woke because I take naps from time to time, I say, because I can't be woke all the time because I'll get insomnia and I'll just lose my mind. So you have to, all you woke people take some naps from time to time. You can't
You
be
gotta adjust your woke meter
gotta
sometimes, you know?
adjust it. You can't be woke about everything. Everything can't offend you because you can't live your life that way. But at the same time, like with school, and I didn't really share this with you, but I figure I'll share it now. Like I went through like a stretch, probably 2 weeks, where I was kind of like in a little bit of a kind of been down in the dumps. I was a little bit depressed, a little bit. Not really like I wouldn't say depressed, but I was a little bit in a funk for like about good
Mm,
2 3 weeks because
right.
school, work, and I was just in the house all the damn time. I wasn't going anywhere because I basically stocked up and bought everything, so I didn't have to leave the house. But then I
Yeah.
was kind of mentally not in the best space.
Hmm.
Um, and then I had close people of mine get COVID, so that was scary for me. Um,
Yeah.
and
I
that was
bet.
touch and go. But luckily they're okay and everyone's good now. So this year was very challenging for me overall, for the most part. But I would say that doing the podcast with you was very helpful, and doing the vlogs kind of helped with my damn sanity because otherwise I'd have straight up lost my mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's good to hear. Creativity, right? Like, to do
Creativity,
something
getting my
creative,
mind
it
doing stuff.
really yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think I'm trying to work out. Well, I'm working. Well, I'm not working out today. I worked out yesterday and I worked out Thursday. Today is
Yeah. Rest day.
is kind of all day. So I'm
Crowd
not
resting.
working out today. But I think
Brought
just
to you
kind
by
of yeah, exactly. I just think the creativity, I think that was the biggest thing that kind of helped me kind of push through and get through it because I don't think without that, I think I would have probably just been really down in the dumps, just depressed, really. And I think this week, like I kind of just said, I'm just gonna chill this week, really. I had my school assignment to do on Monday, and then the rest of the week I didn't do anything, didn't do any work stuff. I kind of just wanted to just kind of chill and enjoy my birthday kind of week and kind of just
Slow
relax.
it down, right?
Just
Like,
slow
and I
down.
think
No, listen, it's gonna get
yeah.
busy. I'm gonna have papers and reports and client meetings and all that stuff. I do that stuff. I have no problem doing that stuff. But I just this week I just kind of want to take a little bit of a pause, which I don't normally
That's
do.
good.
I'm usually just like grind until I have nothing left and I'm like a small little nub. That's usually how exactly.
No, I'm
Which is
the
in
opposite. I am the complete opposite.
which is exactly. And I'm trying to learn to balance it better. And I think if this year is nothing else, I said in my vlog going into 2020 is to be more balanced and try to really be balanced with that. And I'm
Yeah.
sharing this. The reason why is because I don't want because people think that I have everything figured out, and I struggle the same way everyone else does. I'm not immune to that because I do vlogs and podcasts and I give advice and I share different perspectives on things that I know it all. I don't.
Well, I think that's what makes us human, right? We're all struggling. We're not representing this image of perfection. And I think
I know.
that's one
And
thing that
I
social
think we
media
try to
makes you
make that
think,
very
right?
clear,
Yeah.
although they don't really they think, and I think deleting my Instagram and Facebook was a very good thing too. I was
Congratulations.
You're welcome. I
Like
feel
a little clearing your head, right?
it was honestly, I deleted it in November and I don't even miss it. Normally, like every year, I would post like a birthday selfie. I'd post it on my Instagram and Facebook and get all like the happy birthday and all this type of stuff from people that I talk to because they only message me that one day and the rest of the year I don't talk. I message them, they don't talk to me at all. So it's good now
Yeah.
to just get text messages from people who genuinely actually like me and actually remember that it's my
Care.
birthday and
Yeah.
they don't need a Facebook notification to tell me happy birthday. So
Yeah.
I'd
That's
rather
a good point.
you have to trim the
I
I call it trimming the fat, you know? I trimmed
spring
it
cleaning.
But normally, yeah, spring cleaning. But no, I detox the fat. I like
Detox. Ooh,
all
a
that
step
fat out,
further, yeah.
scooped it out all of it's out. Sorry.
Get those laxatives in.
Oh, I got some laxatives, some detox tea up in there. And just did my thing.
The whole works. You're talking about social media and just this year in general, I think, I'm in the same boat as you, although I accidentally deleted my Instagram, and what I mean by accident, I meant to
Oh,
deactivate it, but I'm deleting it, and I did the same with LinkedIn. I meant to deactivate it, but I ended up deleting it. I know, social media expert right here. Um,
well, LinkedIn is kind of like a weird Facebook anyway. So it's just like
yeah.
weird professionals just randomly adding. Like I had some engineer from India add me. I don't work in engineering, bro, and I don't know why you're adding me on your LinkedIn.
Again, it's this quality over quantity over quality,
And I'm more about
notion,
quality.
right?
I'm more about the
And it's
quality.
all about quality, and so when I deactivated, I took a social media break and my life became so much. I think I'm more present. I appreciate the now. I was actually just overwhelmed. I'm constantly and I
Mm,
deactivated Facebook too. I finally went back um for a different reason. I was taking a training course and they had a Facebook group. So then to join, I
and
had to log back in. And I've left it kind of dormant. So I'm there but I'm not really there. And the same with my Instagram. I have one for my blog, but I hate social media, Michael. I hate it. And it's like it's there and I'm going, I don't want to be here, but why am I here? And you know why?
why do you hate social media? I never asked you this actually. I don't know why I've never asked you this.
I feel overwhelmed. I think it's very disingenuine. I am
Mhm.
constantly bombarded with people selling me things, selling me ideas. There's a lot of inauthenticity.
Like
Um,
influencers.
yeah,
What do
that
you
are
influence?
so it's so like left, right, and center. I don't get a chance to think about, what I'm doing or I think it's just everyone's just faking it. It seems like everyone's faking it. And I sound pessimistic and I don't mean everyone. I know there's people out there that are very genuine.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the most part, I'm just surrounded by this facade and I
I would
can't
say
take it,
70%
Mike.
of people on Instagram and Facebook are faking it. I'd say
I
30%
can't
using
take
it,
it.
and that's fair.
It's too much.
No, I feel you. I think for me, deleting it was more. I wasn't like I said after, and I think I told you this. Like after I did the protest at Black Lives Matter. I just had got to a point where I went on and like I got so much like a good response from the speech,
Yeah.
and everyone said,
Yeah.
"I loved your speech." My sister in Vancouver, shout out to Diane. She said, "I've never been prouder of you than I am right now seeing that speech," and it was such a like a beautiful thing. Like it made me feel amazing. And then I go
Mhm.
back on there like 2 days later, and I'm just seeing idiotic, stupid, ignorant posts. And I got to a point where I had actually got blocked for a day because I had made some unflattering posts about somebody. I'm not going to say verbatim what I said,
Okay.
but it was about someone who had made some disparaging comments about George Floyd. So I had responded and I said something about them. So that Facebook had blocked me for a day.
Mm.
And at that point, I said, okay, Mike, this is affecting you way more than it should. So you got to make a choice. Either you're going to stay on here and then you're going to start cussing out every person who makes a negative or racially charged comment, or you just delete it and just separate yourself and let everyone else kind of figure their ish out on Facebook. And I just initially I said I'm just going to take it off my page, and actually, funny enough, I was going to decide. The cutoff was today. I was going to
Mm.
decide by my birthday if I was going to keep my Facebook on it.
This makes
But
it interesting.
yeah, but I decided to delete it earlier, so I deleted it like end of November instead because it just I wasn't on it anymore, and I don't
Yeah.
care that you had a flan at some restaurant on Saturday. Like I don't care. I don't care that friend who you probably don't like are posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram because you want to make it seem like you guys are in a great relationship and everything's all hunky dory. I don't care. That's great. You want to post that stuff. That's fine. And again, I'm not. And to get to your point, I'm not trying to say that everyone's using it. If you want to post 10 selfies, post that. If
Yeah.
that helps you do it, I don't care. I'm just saying for me, there's no incentive for me to be on it anymore. I don't feel like I'm
Same.
missing out on anything. I
Yeah.
actually I don't. I feel like I'm actually like to your point, I'm more present and I more care about quantity than quality. Like I'd rather have let's
You mean
say
quality than quantity?
sorry,
Quality.
quality than quantity. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 10 people that I care about, that I genuinely care about me, message me to wish me happy birthday than 100 people only messaging me because Facebook is telling them to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
It's
the
about like yeah, it's about intentionality, right?
exactly.
So what it's done, it's like to be relevant, to be present, I have to bombard you.
Like,
Your
for example,
attention
I
is
would
my currency,
like I
pretty
said, I
much.
wouldn't need Facebook wouldn't have to tell me to message somebody to see how they're doing or to check in or something like
Yeah.
that. And I find with people, to your point, it's so disingenuous because I'll give you even a perfect example of this too. Because I don't think I've ever told you this story.
Ooh, new story.
So a few years ago, kind of to be make a long story short, I was on a bus like about maybe 2.5 years ago, and actually I witnessed a stabbing on the bus where a guy got
Oh,
and I kind of intervened. A youth, a kid, he had got stabbed in the arm, and I kind of intervened to kind of not have it escalate further because the kid was basically was about to get robbed.
oh my
So
goodness.
police, yeah. So I witnessed it. The kid was bleeding everywhere. It was a big mess. All that. I'll tell you this story in more detail off camera, but I had posted on my Facebook that I was feeling like obviously seeing something as traumatic as that, I was very down in the dumps, very sad.
Yeah, of course.
And so I post like a sad emoji in my I think my how I'm feeling.
Status? Yeah.
My status, yeah, my status. I forgot. See, that's how long I've been on Facebook. I forgot how I'm feeling. And I remember my sister Diane, as soon as I posted, she called me within 5 minutes. She's like, Michael,
Mm,
I saw your post. Everything okay? What's going on? Talk to me, and I told her everything and all that. Meanwhile, you have people and I'm gonna call out people. You have people that say end of the month there's gonna be the bell, let's talk. And
yeah.
everyone's gonna talk about how mental health is so important. And if you're feeling sad and blue, message me and talk to me. I'll talk to you, I'm here for you. And I'm not saying that I need it, like I'm not saying like, it's not a pity party. That's not what I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
I'm just calling people out that you're not, to your point about the disingenuous, because I don't think people genuinely care. Because listen, I had that posted for how many hours? 3 people checked in on me. If I had jumped
Mm.
off a bridge and my name was on CP24, everyone would have then did a post saying how, oh my God, I can't believe Michael killed himself. I missed him. Did you though?
Mm,
When I have all these warning signs and I said that I was sad and no one, and I had 3 people check in on me to see how I was doing and see if I was alive.
I'm sorry. That
And
yeah.
again, but I think it's to your point, and again, I'm not bringing it up to pity. I'm bringing it up to because the point that you made, which I loved, of the fact of the fake and disingenuous. And I think people got to ask themselves on social media, what are you projecting out there? What are you trying? Like, what is your purpose? Like, if someone is saying that they're feeling sad, are you genuinely gonna check in on them, or are you doing it because it's Bell? Let's talk. So for that one
Yeah.
day, you're gonna care and be a counselor and be Dr. Phil, but the next 364 days, you're not gonna care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
saying about
hard. And it's everything and again, so it's a disingenuousness,
Mhm.
ingenuity and also intentionality, right? So why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why am I talking to you? Why am I doing this? So asking about the why, and usually it's generating image, popularity, or money.
Of
It's
course.
all within these spheres. And as someone who is, I identify as a highly sensitive person, it's a trait, it's a personality trait, HSP. I think they've defined it as a genetic trait, but basically I get overwhelmed very easily.
Mm,
I feel deeply. I have very super senses, like highly sensitive senses.
gotcha.
And so for me to be on social media, to be bombarded with things constantly, it really I get very anxious. It has a profound effect on me. I don't like crowds. I don't like loud noises. So I actually get pretty shaken. So these are HSP traits, and
Mm,
people, if you want to, you can look it up. For anyone that's listening, but social media or just being and constantly being bombarded,
right.
it does the opposite of comforting to what you said, Mike, right? Like if you're having a bad day, if you posted something, you're reaching out for help, who's gonna like come to your door and say, hey, what can I do? Text you, say something, right? And it's again, it's just it's really hard. I written an article about this on my blog too about
Hey,
social media. Have you
shameless
read it?
plug, Donna. I did check it out.
Okay.
I've
Well,
read
thank you.
all
Thank
the
you
stuff.
for that plug. um, but yeah, shameless plug there. Thank you very much. I think I quoted the article because I said a lot of things I wanted to there.
Mhm.
And I was so I wanted to even talk about this, and it just comes up in so many times. I'm pretty sure I did a podcast with my friend Andrew on this too. And it was so overwhelming. But I will say, on the other hand, so there are benefits to it, right? If you have your business,
Yes.
you can sell things because everyone's on it. And what I struggle with, Mike, is like I have a brand, right? You can tell me like my name here, right? On Zoom, it's Artisana. I have my website, my brand. Now I'm struggling because I want people to check out my blog, like people that care, my friends, people that have shown me interest. I have a subscriber list where I send like newsletters and so forth.
Nice.
Now, the only way for people to know that I exist is to be on social media, it seems, because nobody genuinely cares anymore. I feel like people aren't writing things down about what they really like because I have to compete for people's attention now on your feed, as opposed to you intentionally writing a list of the things that you like, intentionally creating a bookmark of the things that you like. And this is just, it's made me think about, well, do I really want to be out there? Do I really want to compete? Because I don't want to be popular. That's not my goal. My goal is to be as genuine as myself as possible, and I'll be out there. I just wish the people I want to attract are the ones that I don't want to have to compete for their attention and
Absolutely.
compromise my own sanity. And which is why I'm thinking maybe I need to let go of my Instagram. So I'm like in this weird place.
Preach,
But
son. Preach.
yeah,
Like
anyway,
I say.
sorry. That was my mic drop.
Mike, I got the broken mic, so that's my mic. Actually, I was gonna ask you.
um
You asked me about how has the lockdown been for you? How have you been handling it overall?
It's been very challenging. Not gonna lie, very, very challenging. As someone that defines myself as an ambivert, meaning that I'm not an introvert, I'm not an extrovert, and actually all of us have both qualities.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
often think that it's 100%, which is not.
It's
But
yeah.
for me, I need I don't strongly associate with either. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Good.
So
Same.
I need people as much as I need my alone time, which is really challenging. So even pre-lockdown, I had to have this very delicate balance of like people time and my time. And now that it's like lockdown, I'm going, oh crap. And it's so hard because unless I'm talking to people and around them, I will appreciate that'll fuel me to be alone, which will then fuel me to talk to them and vice versa. So
The
now
same.
that I'm at one place, it's hard.
It
It's
is.
hard to get motivation. And I'm pretty sure all of us are struggling with that too.
Yeah.
Um, it's been hard, but at the same time, I've never been more aware, more present, more grateful with what I have.
Mm.
It's allowed me to really slow down, and I'm slowing down as I'm saying this, but
Say it softly and slowly.
softly and slowly.
Like that
This is
calm.
actually
Is
an
there,
ASMR
I
video.
feel it's
I'm
like
kidding.
an app like called Calm. I think that does like that type of stuff. I can't remember what it is. I think
Yeah,
LeBron.
yeah, I think it's calm.
Yeah, LeBron James sponsors it. That's how I know because I keep seeing this stupid ad on my YouTube. And his friggin' beard, just with his eyes closed in his little 'cause he meditates, I think, and stuff like that. So, anyway, sorry, cutting
No,
off.
meditation's great, don't worry. I mean, it's allowed me to be more calm, and it's really allowed me to embrace me and what myself. And I do find, again, as someone who's highly sensitive, I was very overwhelmed a lot. I couldn't say no to people. Now that the lockdown happened, I was forced to look after myself. And I was like, all right, great, I've got this time. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying it's a blessing. I know people are struggling.
yeah,
COVID has done a lot of damage. So I don't want to be ignorant and be like, oh
yeah,
my God, this is great. I'm saying just for me, it allowed me to um thankfully I didn't have any health problems. I was fine. I'm still doing my best to take care of my health. But it's allowed me to slow down, not be overwhelmed, right? To get my alone time, to focus my creative energy, to
mhm.
count my blessings, to get my ducks in a row because I think I'm also becoming more introverted as I age. So I'm like, yo, this is great. Like
Get
I
away
get to
from me,
just
people. I wanna be around you.
no, but people are great. I'm not a people hater. I'm just saying it's allowed me to slow down, Mike, and that's something I always wanted to do. And I live in like Toronto,
Yeah.
busy city. I live in the middle of Toronto,
You are
so
downtown, like,
I am in the core. So
you are
I don't get the pleasure of having even a cottage or even someone close to me that takes me to this place or having friends. I don't have that privilege.
yeah,
So those that of us that
I need
right? So many people
we need
do.
cottage friends. We need to
We need cottage friends, man.
look
Let's
for some cottage friends. I think that should be the goal for 2021.
cottage people out there, Toronto, we've got a
Anyone
lot to
listening,
offer.
you're down
Creativity.
to go to a cottage. I've never been. I might have been, but no, I've never been. So we need to, like, anyone listening who has a cottage who's willing to let me and Sana, or you can invite us. We'll come out there. Who knows? We could do a podcast or a vlog in the cottage. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
maybe we could do like an
I
and
like
talk about our experience. See, I'm already coming up with ideas on the fly.
the ideas, man. Actually, I do have a group of friends that very recently we get together and we go camping. So I'm just getting sick of camping now because I think I'm not really finding joy in soaking wet and being cold.
Yeah.
Um,
That's where
yeah.
me and you depart because I'm not doing camping. I will do cottage. I do not want. I want a
I've
cottage.
recently converted. No, I'm a cottager now. I'm gonna be doing no camping anymore, just cottage. So
All
I'm
it.
looking for cottage friends.
Anyone with a
Yeah,
cottage. It doesn't even have to be like the greatest looking cottage. It just has to be a cottage. I'm not
just
really.
something outside of the city,
Yeah,
right?
because the city. Listen, I love Toronto's a great city. It's a nice
Love Toronto. Love
multicultural
Toronto.
melting pot of great food and
The
people at times,
mosaic.
and
Yeah, yeah.
mosaic and all that. But then there's times where I get sick of this damn city and I need to get the hell out of here from time to time.
I think this is okay. So this is at a personal level, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone needs this. So I feel like with lockdown, it's forcing people to be with their own thoughts, with their minds, to face the issues. And perhaps and this is just my theory, right? My opinion.
Let it
Um
out, Anna, let it out.
that it's forcing us to face these issues, these struggles. So a lot of emotions are coming out, a lot of anger is coming out, or you can't avoid, you can't escape things anymore,
Yeah.
right? You're stuck at home. You've got to deal with your problems. If you can't ignore it and go out and watch a movie and then see a play and then see a symphony and go to an art gallery, or go shopping and be
It
like,
makes
retail therapy, right?
I know. I wanted to go see Wonder Woman in 1984. I couldn't go see that damn movie, and I'm not trying to pay $30 on HBO Max. I'm not doing that. So, and I've heard,
Amazon Prime has it too. We can do a
yeah.
split. I'm gathering some friends to do a split for Wonder Woman, so
Oh,
we can
I'll
do
do
that.
that because I'm not paying $30. I thought about it
Okay.
one night. I was kind of in. I was a little bit drunk, and I was watching. I was like, but then I talked to my sister. She's like, "It's not that good, Mike. Don't spend your money." So I was like, "Okay, I'll wait till it's free or spend $5 or whatever." But
Yeah.
I also think to your point that you made, like I don't think people are self-aware enough to want to do that. Like to be self-reflective and look at their own stuff and look at their own behaviors and be with their own thoughts. I don't think I remember, and the reason why I say that is there was one girl I was talking to last year, and she said that to me. Like, I'm good. I don't need to be with my thoughts and myself and all this stuff. And I thought, really? Really?
Everybody does.
Everyone does. Like
I
that.
don't think we
I
have a
read that
choice.
text and I'm like, nah, that don't really make much sense. Doesn't make much sense. I even remember, like, actually, well, I'm gonna go into like a little bit of a dating diatribe, a brief one, small one. My birthday.
Hey, it's your vlog. Hey,
It's
it's your
my
vlog.
dog, my day. So no, this one girl, I'm gonna call her out because she was being silly. So I messaged her and she was like, we've been talking since March, Michael, and you didn't even ask to meet up with me. I'm like, haven't you realized we're in a global pandemic? Where the hell are we going out to meet up? There's cold outside. I am not trying to wait out. Go where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Where is there to go and do? There is nothing to go do. Where am I gonna go? Tim Hortons and shit? No, don't want to do all that. And it's too cold. So I'm trying to be a responsible adult and not ask to meet up with you. But then if I was blowing up your phone trying to hang out with you, you'd call me I can't. I'm trying not to swear. See, I'm
Flipping?
flipping a flipping fun boy or whatever. They call it fuck boy, but fun boy or whatever. And you're just trying to sleep with me, but I'm not. I'm trying to be a responsible male and a
Yeah.
gentleman and not ask you out because we're in a global pandemic and I want to be safe as well as you, but you think, oh, I'm not interested. I just wanted to say that. I don't know why, but I just think that's kind of weird. But I think it also, but I think it also goes to self-awareness. I don't think she's self-aware enough to realize that we're in a pandemic, so you need to be smart about who you're hanging with.
Yeah. It's just being being in the know, right? Trying to understand what's going on in the world, and like let's
Like, listen, I missed out
the
on
only way to
2
beat
Raptors
this is
games
to
last
work
year.
together.
I missed out on 2 Raptors games last year. I missed out on my Belgium trip last year, okay? So no
I
one
know, I'm
has suffered
sorry.
through and a concert. I missed out on a concert. Couldn't go to a
I
concert.
know.
4 events where I'm around and beer fest. That's 5 things around people. Okay. So no one knows the suffrage of not being around socializing people than me. But at the same time, the alternative is to, let's say, them not do a lockdown and be around nasty people out there. And people are nasty. I'm going to be
Mhm.
real. People are nasty out here. People are
Yeah,
gross.
just, you know,
There are people right
like
now on the bus not wearing masks.
I know. Oh, I was crossing the street. I was doing groceries, coming back, sitting at the intersection, standing on the intersection.
Mhm.
A streetcar passes by, and what do I see? A guy with his mask down to his chin, picking his nose, and then analyzing his finger.
Yo, I saw a girl do that. I saw a girl do that last week. I'm like,
I don't
Pe-
know.
people are gross. There are gross people, and I don't know if COVID has just made people more nastier now, and they just don't care. But
I think
people,
it's habit. Habits are hard to break. So if someone's used to doing that, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
and
very hard.
that's why I don't want to go out, man. I walk everywhere now. My Apple Watch is
Yeah,
getting some work on my
yeah.
Apple.
Exercise, and that's another thing, like, I think to get back to what's working and
Yeah,
how have I stayed strong during this, pandemic, and I must say, I do feel good. It's been very challenging, but at the same time, I've reached out to people, and this is what I'm gonna do, like a positive story on social media. I had a very dark moment, and I went on Facebook, and I don't talk about my personal life at all, but I went on Facebook and disclosed something because I wanted to draw a boundary. And I was amazed with the hold on a sec. So I don't share a lot of personal stories or anything, but I went out and I just put it out there. I wanted people to know because I wanted to reach the most people, and I have a lot of reach on Facebook. And people reached out. People reached out to me on text, on WhatsApp, on email. One friend wrote a beautiful email to me, and on Messenger. Like, it was really nice. It was nice to not feel alone. And this is where social media can help too
absolutely.
sometimes, to see that. And I think maybe it's because they don't hear from me a lot, and I don't know why, or maybe the immensity of this topic. It was very deep, and I
Mm,
actually, like, it wasn't meant to be like a pity post either. It was more
right,
like it was saying I need to draw some boundaries,
absolutely.
and so it was really nice to not feel alone. And I'm not reaching out to those people, and I even told them that I'm overwhelmed, and I'm not here very much, so bye. So, but going back, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I was saying that, it's the things that help me, are being creative, talking to people on Zoom, having those conversations. But I can't stress the creativity part. Like, I paint, I knit, I made jewelry. Like, I didn't know I could do that. I mean, I'm
Wait,
just
hey,
doing.
jewelry. When you start making
Yeah,
jewelry?
I don't know. I just had stuff, and then I decided to like put them together. I'm like, oh yeah, I got necklaces.
I am discovering this stuff as much as this is breaking news again. I didn't know that you make jewelry. You know?
I do a lot of things.
That you do clearly.
That's my brand. I'm reading lots, and I think it's very challenging, and every day is a struggle. I'm talking to many people, and we're talking about this depression, right? Because you're isolated. You have this choice taken away from you because you just can't go and do the things that you used to. And it's very taxing on a lot of us. But I
Yeah,
think the things that I'm doing is I'm sleeping regular hours. I'm taking my vitamin D supplements, which a lot of Canadians are deficient in vitamin D. We don't get enough sunlight to,
sure.
convert it into its form that we actually use in our bodies. And one of the big signs of vitamin D deficiency is also like anxiety and depression. So a lot of people don't realize this, but I've been taking vitamin D for a long time because my levels were so low, and it's helped me in my depression more than anything. And I was leveling, taking score of my vitamin D levels too. So I think like supplementing, ensuring my diet is good. ensuring I get sleep, ensuring that I'm talking to people. Like I make the effort. I don't expect others to do it, right? Because I need to be accountable of my own happiness. And if I feel alone, I need to reach out. If I need support, I need to reach out and tell someone I need support
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised, right? Like, it's with
I'm
intentionality.
guilty of that.
So I'm
I'm
saying,
guilty of not
sorry,
reaching out. I'm guilty of not reaching out when I need support at times.
you
I'm
got to reach out, Mike.
I'm a
Yeah,
I'm guilty. I can admit that. Like I think at times I'm so used to, being on like independent and just dealing and doing it on my own. So um the thought of asking someone for help is hard for me at times. It's something I feel weird doing. But I think as I've gotten older now, for example, I appreciate, like someone checking in to see how I'm doing, things like
yeah,
that. And to your point being, and checking in with people and also, because I'm responsible for that.
yeah,
I'm not of this notion of expecting people to text me every day. If I want to talk to someone, I'll text them and see how they're doing. If they don't
yeah.
respond, that's fine, and things like that. So no, I totally agree. But I definitely have to be a little bit better with, if I do need help and assistance to ask for it because I'm bad at that.
That shows self-awareness, right? And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're able to reflect and say, "You know what? That's something I don't do."
Mhm.
And you're again, I've met so many people that are I was in that boat, but I learned I was a bit of I didn't know how to control my emotions. Like I used to cry for help, but not ask something for specific. And what really worked for me was being logical about it. So think about if you wanted a job, right?
Yeah.
Would you go out there and be on social media, "Hey y'all, looking for a job." Smiley face, or would you like approach an employer and say, here are my qualifications. I'm interested in a job. Are you hiring? Right. So the same thing, like if people need help, sometimes they'll just put it out there in a vague way, or just kind of hint to someone as opposed to being direct and saying, you know what, reaching out to someone and being vulnerable, actually being vulnerable and saying, I'm having a really rough time. I'm in a pretty deep depression. Um, I just need someone to talk to, or
Yeah.
you want to do something fun? I know we can't meet up, but I need to do something about this. And if you have a good friend, they will help you. And I think that's also the challenge. Not all of us have good friends to show us,
Yeah.
to
We have
teach us what love
there's
is,
some main
right?
shit friends out there. There's a lot of shitty friends out there
Or
that
just
claim to be
people,
friends.
right?
Yeah, people. I mean, a fair amount of people suck ass.
And that's why we trim the fat, as you say, right, Mike? We like
Talks
do
the
the
fat,
spring
trim it,
cleaning.
cut it, butcher it, whatever, throw it out, burn it. That's, that's it.
Yeah, we get rid of it, and
You know, yeah,
eventually, and I'm yeah.
one thing I actually did, and I'm going to be probably doing this every year, is I actually go through my WhatsApp contacts and I delete people I don't talk to or haven't talked to in a while. And I do that every year. And it's like I call that definitely trimming the fat 'cause I trim a lot of fat. It's been like I think last year when I did it, I spent maybe 30 minutes deleting people. And I'm just like, why
Wow.
am I talking to these? Why do I have this person's number? I was with this person like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like weird. So I just said, I'm gonna get rid of and I think I did it this year. And going
Yeah.
forward, I would do that every year. I
Good for
know.
you. Whatever works for you, right? If it works.
Absolutely. But no, I love what you said in terms of those things. Like I think checking in and with people and stuff like that and being direct with what you
Yeah.
need, well, I think is also helpful too, because a lot of people don't do that. I'm like I said, I'm guilty of that myself. So I'm trying to be more direct if I do need support to ask for it. But usually, like I said, I'm a lone wolf guy, always been a lone wolf guy. I just enjoy.
Humans are social beings, Mike. We're
You're
social
right.
beings.
No, I am not
Oh.
disagreeing with you. You are absolutely right. I'm trying. I want to be because again, I don't. Because there's times where I do, like I said, I go through some like periods of struggle, and I get I have my bouts and stuff like that. And some days I'm able to get through it, some days I'm not. So, but I
Yeah.
think I also too have better friends and a better support system now than I
Yeah.
did years past. Where I think in years past I didn't have a support system, and I was more used to that. So if I
Mhm.
did have any issues, I just dealt because who am I going to tell? Because most of my friends sucked ass. Whereas now I have a
That's
lot better friends.
And
Like, well,
that's nice to that you mentioned support system. I really am glad that you mentioned that. And it's, through trial and error, right? We learn who's there for us. If who's there for us, right? What's the point of friendship if all you want to do is talk about the good stuff? Like a friend
yeah,
should be able to see both your sides, all of your sides, and embrace you. So having a good support network is essential, and it takes time to get there. You just the worst we can do is give up, right?
That's
And
why I
say
have
everyone's
guy friends. I don't have too many guy friends, to be honest with you.
you want guy friends, eh?
I have a few guy friends, but not too many because dudes are weird, man. Dudes be talking about like,
I've got a lot of good guy friends.
well, that's good. That's good. But I like in my
I can introduce you,
yeah, that's
you can
probably a good
have some
idea because
bromance.
some of the guy friends that I have are just some of them are not. I can't even say they're friends. They're just like not the same. Like, oh yeah, I had sex with this girl last night. I don't give a shit, dude. I don't care. Girl, good for you, bro. You used the condom. You had sex. Congratulate. I don't care. Like I don't care. It's not because I
Like
can't.
there's
I just don't care. So I need and again to your point, because I don't want to just talk about shit like that, like girls I hooked up with or I messed with this girl and da da da. Like sometimes it's good to talk about like different stuff and like important
yeah.
and if you're struggling, you're going through stuff or your experiences, stuff like that. Like I like having those conversations, but you don't have that with too many dudes, man. Dudes are weird,
Keep
man.
trying. Keep trying, Mike. You're gonna find them. You're gonna find them. I used to be like this, like with guy growing up, I grew up with brothers, so I have a lot of male friends. And it, I just had this attitude like, oh, women are like this, women are like that. I'm a guy's girl and I'm a tomboy. And
Yeah,
it took me a while to like grow up and be like, everyone's great. Everyone there's gonna be good guys, bad guys, good girls, bad girls,
there is
you
an equal
know?
distribution of shitty men and women out there.
Or people of people, right? With like
We'll say
whatever your gender you identify. It could
there are
be like
equal distributions of shitty genders out there. There's a lot of shitty.
exactly.
Take your pick. I
Or
don't think, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's just men. I think it's both. I think there's an equal distribution, or whatever gender you identify as. There are shitty people.
yeah. Yeah, so it's I think it's about like actually having the faith in humanity that there are good people out there and I will find them. And actually I'm very lucky at this point in my life. I know some amazing women, some amazing men. Like and I'm happy with the quality of friends I have. I think it's just trial and error. You just got to keep finding these people. So Mike, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Moving forward now, we're talking about the past, how it affected us, right? What how 2020 was for us. Now, seeing as we're in 2021 and it's your 37th birthday, what are you looking forward to this year?
Okay. Well, school's one thing. I'm anxious to kind of get through this semester and see how this goes because university is a completely different animal compared to college for me. I can't really bullshit assignments like I used to in college. I can get away with. I can't really do that. Yeah, I have to actually read the material and kind of understand it. Um,
Yeah.
that um, I think the one thing, but besides that, I think the one thing I've said to people, I think that's kind of my theme going forward, not just 2021, but going forward, is I want to be able to be a positive influence on people's lives or be a positive force in people's lives.
Okay.
Reason being is to your point that you just so eloquently mentioned. That's why we vibe because you say stuff and I pick up on it and I'm like, oh, got it. People have this idea that the
Thanks.
world is this failed state. Like it can't get any better. There's just people out there that are just bad. There's terrible human beings. We're all inherently terrible. We're all inherently evil. I call bullshit on that. I don't believe that.
Hmm.
I believe, and I've said this in the pot in my vlog, but I'll reiterate this again because I want to really hammer this home and I want people to understand that I'm not being just saying this as fake positivity, which you again I wanted to bring that up in this because remember you brought this up to me a few years ago that there's a lot of fake positivity out there. And that's the one thing I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like there's fake being fake about it. I believe that if you are a good person and you are inherently good and you have good and a good heart, good morals, good standing, you put out good energy in the world, that's going to help the
Yeah.
world be a better place. Because if you watch the news is a mess. It's either COVID or Trump crap or all that other stuff, and you'll just think the world is a terrible place to live in, and there's no
Yeah.
good people out there. And to your point that you just mentioned, you have a good support system of friends. I've grown a better support system of friends and family that I can come to and talk to. And I think we as a society, people who are listening to this pod or vlog, the onus is on us to be the positive change that we want to see in the world. It's not up to we relying on the government to do that. They're not going to do that. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? If we're expecting it to happen, but we're not going to put in the work to do it, and we're just going to complain about how terrible the world is, nothing's going to change. So the onus is on us as a society to do it. And I think if we're doing it in our little small circles, it will trickle to everywhere else. And I firmly believe that. And that's the goal that I'm trying to do in this, and like for going forward, 2021 and onwards until I depart from this beautiful, disgusting, dirty planet.
Well said, Mike. It's really lovely to hear that. And I'm happy to hear that, it's a really lovely message.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, beautiful message of hope of being a better person and actually being accountable for your actions. So
I know,
I
funny
think that
thing,
we're
be accountable for your actions, right? Who knew? Such a novel thought that is. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my
quite a
god.
novel thought.
My actions. Who knew? It's okay. I'm
Oh my
getting
god.
better with my accents. And that's another thing I want to work on this year. Kasana has dissed my accent. She does not. She thinks I just do the same all the time, which is kind of true, but I'm working on them. I have a good Bane accent. I have a good Bane one.
Ah, do you?
And weirdly
Yeah,
enough,
let's hear your bane.
my Bane, oh, sleep has defeated you, Batman.
Yeah,
But
well done, well done.
you know what? This is a weird, that's it. We're going off topic, but this is actually another weird goal I have for 2020 or 2021, sorry, is I want to fully understand the movie Inception. Like
Okay.
understand it completely. Like I've watched that movie 5 times. I recently watched it last week. I
Yeah.
understand about 65% of the movie. Now, I went down the Christopher Nolan rabbit hole. I watched Tenant, which don't understand
I
fully.
haven't seen Tenet. Don't spoil it for
No
me.
spoilers, great movie. I
Okay.
watched Dunkirk, great movie, makes sense. And then I watched Inception.
Okay.
I am 65% understand the movie. I don't understand it fully, but my goal is to watch that movie and understand it. Now, my sister came with a good strategy. I'm going to watch it in 3-minute intervals. And what I'm going to
Yeah.
do is actually take notes of anything that I pick up and notice, and then hopefully understand. Because that I don't know, I have no reason why. There's no rational reason why I want to do this, except for
Yeah.
the fact I just want to understand that movie.
I would be very curious to see or hear your thoughts after you understood it. So I would like to discuss that movie with you.
Do you fully understand the movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, okay, we're gonna have to talk about this then, because then you
All right. We'll do a podcast on it. We'll do a
yeah, you need
podcast
to
on
fill in the blanks because there's some shit that I need to because the math is off. I don't understand the math. I do understand like
Oh, okay.
different dreams, but other than that, I don't understand the math and how that works in terms of the timeline and all that jazz. So maybe you can fill in the blanks for me on that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it needs to make sense in some areas because it's a
No,
movie, Mike. It's
no,
not
no,
reality.
I disagree. And listen, I watched an interview with the star of Tenant, and he said he didn't even understand Tenant, and he was in the damn movie. You cannot. I don't agree with that. If you're gonna be in a movie and get paid millions of dollars, you need to understand what you're in. Okay, I can't be in a movie like a Christopher Nolan movie, and then like I don't, and then some of that's well, when that plot happened, like what were you thinking? I'm like, I don't know. I just was in it. They just paid me. They showed up with a bunch of money with a money bag, like in the cartoons with like a bag of money sign, and I just said, okay, I'll just do the movie, bro. No, I need to understand it. So that is my goal for 2021. By the end of 2021, check in with me. My goal is to fully understand the movie Inception. It's on Netflix, so
Okay. I will totally. I'll be watching a lot of oldies movies. I love old-timey movies.
me too.
Cary Grant. you know. So
Actually,
I'm and Hitchcock films.
I've
I
been actually
love
watching
Hitchcock
WandaVision.
films.
I've been watching WandaVision, which is kind of like they said it in like an old like WandaVision from Marvel. They have like a weird sitcom show on Disney Plus now.
Really?
It's
I
very
didn't know that.
I have to rewatch it. I watched the first episode. I have to rewatch it. Kind of was. It's a little. It's cool and weird at the same time. It's one of those kind of things. I like it. I can appreciate it.
Cool weird is good. Sometimes it's nice to, get out of your comfort zone and watch something
Oh yeah.
different. If
You
you
know
want something weird and cool,
okay.
watch Dirk Gently.
Where's that on?
Holistic Detective Agency. It was on Netflix. I think it should be still be. It's such a weird and bizarre show, but it's so cool. It's just like I don't know. I found it really fun. It's a really wacky show. It's based on books, but it got canceled. Okay, it's on Netflix. It's called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Okay, well,
Such a fun show. Super weird, super bizarre, but I think this is what. Here's some suggestions, I guess, for everyone who's doing
yeah, there you
who's
go. So we can
quarantining
watch good
if
stuff.
you haven't seen it.
So, and mind you, me this how me and
Elijah Wood is in it?
yeah, exactly. So to the viewers, this is how me and Sana talk regularly anyway. So don't mind us. We're just being. This is how we usually talk anyway. So we're being authentic. We're being our authentic. Self. This is how we usually talk any damn way. So
Yeah, yeah.
as I had my parting shots. Do you have any parting words for the lovely listeners or viewers of this lovely vlog that we just did?
I love your words. I'm just gonna kind of echo them. I mean, I do really like it as we start this new year. It's been very challenging. I just want to say that, whoever, you're not alone. We're all struggling. It may seem like we're not, but everyone is. But I think individual accountability is gonna be the best mantra for me going forward too. Like I need to take care of what I need to take care of and take responsibility. So I would advise people to take care of their health, be hopeful, just as Mike said, be faithful in humanity. We're privileged, I think, as Canadians to live in a country that is, has healthcare and benefits for people. So, whatever your situation is, you may not get the most out of it. You may not be happy, but I think counting your blessings is one thing, and practicing gratitude is
Mhm.
going to get us pretty far, especially where we are right now. So, I hope that we all take care of ourselves, be creative, do something new, learn a new skill, be in the moment. And my goal is going to be not to be on my phone too much. So I want to be more present and play more board games, talk to people more. So I hope that everyone has a wonderful year. And thanks so much, Mike, for sharing your birthday vlog with me.
I'm dropping the mic for Sana because Sana just dropped the
Aw.
mic on that, so I don't even need to say anything
Aw,
more.
thank you. Aw.
That was
So
amazing.
thanks, Mike. It was really wonderful.
You're welcome. I hope we'll be doing more of these in the future. So I'm not gonna say I hope we do more in the future because we are gonna be doing more of these. I'm not gonna say hope. You know, just a matter of topics and all that.
Would love to.
We
Yeah.
have a few topics down the pike. I'm not gonna
Ooh.
share them with the viewers yet. I'm gonna leave y'all in suspense. Gotta leave y'all wanting more. We
Ooh.
got a few. We got like about three or four topics we got coming up. So
Yeah,
stay tuned, people.
at least, yeah.
So obviously, this is Big Mike signing off. My lovely friend Sana Khan through Zoom. I know technology, but I want to welcome. Thank you
Thanks for
all for
having
watching.
me.
This is my birthday, so I'm going to be still celebrating and drinking and eating food, delicious food. Can't wait. Excited, and I'm going to be fashion. I probably have some more old fashioned because it's still my damn birthday. And I want hope everyone enjoyed the vlog. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And this is Big Mike signing off on Mic Drop. I'm going to drop it again because my birthday. Peace.
Woo!